the honor to be joined by Hank, who leads the partnership strategy for VALR. So it's an honor to have you today to help us to be able to on-ramp our fiat to crypto, to be able to trade, to buy and sell. So amazing to have you, Hank. And yeah, today it's your session. Please take it away.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. Thank everyone for having me. Looking forward to getting stuck in and giving you guys an overview of VALR and some of the products that we offer. As Karabo mentioned, my name's Hank. I'm the Strategic Partnerships Manager at VALR, so I deal with all the longer higher touch deal cycle things, both from a supply as well as from a inside of VALR. So this includes relationships with banking partners, with market makers, with high frequency trading houses, asset managers, etc., etc., etc. Yes, as we mentioned, VALR is now currently the largest regulated exchange on the African continent. We started out in South Africa about 7.5 years ago, and we are now expanding globally as well. We currently serve about 1.4, 1.5 million retail users, and we serve about 1,400, 1,500 corporate users. We do this by providing market access to crypto and by converting crypto primarily. So we view ourselves as a financial infrastructure provider, and we built up the liquidity and tech stack necessary for people wanting to enter the crypto market using fiat currency or using crypto as well. And this then facilitates across about 100 different assets. These, some of which are spot assets like you guys have seen before, which would be quite simply going from dollars to Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana, or any of the crypto assets that you're aware of. Additionally, we also offer perpetual futures trading on the derivative side, which is a leveraged product. Inherently, we also offer margin trading on the spot side of things. So this means that you can take positions by borrowing capital from a margin book. We also have some staking products that allow you to earn yield. We have DeFi lending products. We have lending products. We have some traditional financial assets that have been tokenized that we also offer yield. And there's payment products and all sorts of things. So that's a little bit of backstory about VALR. But I forgot to mention, VALR is fully licensed as a crypto asset service provider in South Africa, and we also have a regulated entity out of the EU via Poland, and we're busy with licensing in various other jurisdictions at the moment. VALR was actually the first, or one of the first, crypto asset service providers in South Africa to actually be licensed to provide crypto assets to the public on both a discretionary and a non-discretionary basis. So, Karabo, I just wanted to check in with you. Did you need me to go through onboarding and signing up with VALR, or do I just jump in from a signed-in perspective?
Yeah, let's go through onboarding first. I think onboarding will be the way to go first.
Okay, great. All right, cool. So I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know when you can see this. Karabo, you guys can. Okay, good.
Yes, you can see.
All right, great. Okay, guys. Yeah. So onboarding with VALR is pretty simple. That you would expect. It's just referral code is optional. We also have referral programs that allow you to earn revenue by referring your friends to the platform. I'm just going to say, I'm not not sure actually if I'll be able to go past the dummy email. That's fine. Yeah, so essentially, that's a dummy email that I've used. You'll then get a verification email, and you'll navigate back into the platform. And at that point, obviously, I'm signed up, so I can't quite show you guys what that looks like. But at that point, you'll go through a 4 or 5 minute onboarding process, which includes you providing your ID and just doing a quick selfie to show a liveness check, and within 4 or 5 minutes you will have your own account. That's basically as simple as the account creation is. It's free, very simple. All you'll need is your ID and your address and things like this. These are things that we're required by the regulators to collect from our customers according to our licensing. So that is the sign-up flow. Thinking from there on, I will log in quick. Just log in. Just give me a moment. What you will need in order to sign in is first you'll obviously provide a username or password, or you can sign up using your Gmail, for example. So and then because I've got 2-factor authentication turned on using an authenticator app on my phone, I will need that in order to get into my VALR account. There are different mechanisms for multi-factor authentication to help secure your account, and of course we always recommend that this should be done to make it as difficult as possible to actually access your account, particularly if your username and password are leaked somewhere, or you're using shared passwords or anything like this. We'd highly recommend that you set up multi-factor authentication. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. We'll take some questions afterwards. But essentially, this is what you will see once you've logged in. Of course, this is also available via on iPhone and on Huawei as well. So you do have mobile as well as desktop. You also have, for those of you who are more technically inclined, you also have API documentation. You also have API capabilities. So everything that you see, I'll drop a link to the API documents. So everything that you see in the user interface on web or mobile is all available via API as well. In fact, there's more functionality available via the API as opposed to on the interface. I'll get into the API a bit later. But this is the breakdown or the home screen that you'll see once you've created an account and logged into VALR. Here you'll see your total account. There's what assets are actually in your account. You're then able to view all of your assets here. As I said, we offer almost 100 different assets that are available via VALR. This ranges from all the major crypto coins through to infrastructure coins, meme coins, payment tokens, all sorts of assets you'll find on VALR. When I'm just going to hide my zero balance token, you'll see that these are the ones that I have balances in. On these, you'll see what the price changes have been over a 24-hour period. You'll see your balances. and you'll see the ZAR equivalent value that you have in your account. You can also toggle a switch to convert the ZAR totals to dollar totals. Perhaps we should then, I'm just going to change to another account, to a sub account, which I'll get to in a moment. But it's very simple to on-ramp from fiat. At this point, VALR offers Rand, dollar, and euro on-ramps. We are working on providing more of those from a pure order book perspective. You can also do this via MainPay. But for now, let's talk about deposit. So in order for you to deposit, you would just go to Rand. Everyone saw that. So Rand deposit. You'll be navigated to a screen with VALR's bank accounts, and you'll have a unique reference number that you'll use when making an EFT payment to VALR. At this point, I'll wait the deposit, and once it clears, you'll have a Rand balance on the account. This is also available via dollars and euros. So using stablecoins. VALR is a very large stablecoin exchange. We do tens of millions of dollars worth of stablecoin trade a day. And this is one of the reasons why we are able to do this. So as you can see, you've got different deposit methods over here. You can deposit USDC in crypto, or you can do it via a SWIFT bank transfer, or you can do it via a credit card. So for now, let's just talk about the bank transfer. Exactly the same as Rand, except you'll be depositing to an offshore account for VALR. We'll receive the dollars and we will mint USDC, which is a dollar stable coin. And this dollar stable coin will be credited to your account as though you had deposited pure fiat dollars. The same is true for euros. Then we have credit cards available as well. This is through a provider called MoonPay. So anyone who has a MoonPay account can actually on to VALR using, I think we now support 30 different currencies in over 100 and odd markets, I believe. So here we'll be able to then enter. Here are some of the currencies. See, so a bunch of different African, Asian, European currencies. Unfortunately, not not all of them, but we are working towards it. And so let's just say, for instance, we say Naira. Okay, I need to increase my that would be the dollars in stablecoin. You can then continue, and if you have a MoonPay account set up, you can then actually on-ramp using your MoonPay account from within there. Okay, so let's then move on. Where do we go? Withdrawal, relatively simple as well. And if you want to drift that, you can enter your account. You enter your bank account details, and you'll then authorize that bank account linking. And once you've got that done, you need to withdraw any ZAR amounts that you need. Okay. All right, guys. So once you actually have fiat on the exchange, guys, we'll get to. I see some very relevant questions coming through. I think Karabo and team, if you could please monitor those, and if there's anything that is urgent point, please let me know. But if not, we'll take questions near the end. Okay, so once you have a balance, either a Rand balance or a crypto balance, my main account. Okay.
Hello.
Guys, please hang on with questions and unmuting until we get to the end. Okay. So once you have a balance there, and now the world's your oyster, right? Now you can actually go ahead and move from asset to asset. There are only ways to do this on there. This would be the simplest way for you to do this. So let's just say, for instance, Bitcoin, here you can see I can either buy or sell. In this case, I want to buy Bitcoin and I want to pay, let's say, a ZAR, and I'm going to buy 30 rands worth of Bitcoin. Here you'll see what the last traded price of Bitcoin is and what the estimated price is there. This order size. There are some other features here like repeat orders and auto buy as well. I can now review the buy. It will tell me what my estimated price is that I'm going to get. Confirm, and there we now have our Bitcoin transaction. You will now see in my wallets that I now have a Bitcoin balance and a lower ZAR balance. And what you'll also see is if you navigate it to your transaction history, you'll be able to see that here was my BTC buy, and I did it via a simple buy. This is the trading pair that happened. This is the amount of Bitcoin that I've received, and this is the amount of ZAR that I have that I've spent to purchase that Bitcoin. I'm also able to download my transactions and filter on time, asset, and transaction type in my transaction history. So super simple to do. That would be your simple buy or sell. If we wanted to sell, the process is almost identical. Let's say I will sell interrupting. Okay. We also have repeat orders. This would mean that I could have a specific currency that I buy every month or every minute, up to you, minutes, hours, days, or month, that I can select, and I can set expiry date, and this would then result in that just happening at whatever the cadence is that you've asked for that order to happen. Super helpful for people that want to do savings type stuff, and then you've got as well. Karabo, can you guys please have a look and see how we mute everyone until we open the floor for questions?
Yeah.
Yes, we're trying to do that to try and mute everyone.
Yeah, I'm muting them and removing others.
Yeah, please, those that play funny sounds or they make noise, just remove. Guys, just keep your mics off. Only you'll get a chance to ask questions. So basically, just keep your mics off. Yeah, so we can open the floor for questions. And if ever, let's say you play a funny sound, you'll be removed. Take this one, just trust me, it's worth it.
Yeah, guys, we will allow for sufficient time afterwards, guys. Okay, so those are the simple mechanisms through which you would be able to purchase cryptocurrency. Now we get to the more fun stuff. Then we get to the pro exchange. So you will have a number of order books here. Let's say USDT ZAR. This is your pro exchange. This is where you're able to do some really, really intricate trading. These are your order books. As you guys can see on this specific order book, which is USDT ZAR, we've done a 120 million worth of volume on this order book within the last week. You'll be able to see what the 24-hour high price is, the low price, and the last traded price. You have a host of different charting tools that you're able to make use of in here. I'm not gonna go into all of them, but I mean, there are all the advanced charting things that you want to do through like something like a trading view. This is all available within these toolkits on these charts. Here you are able to see the actual order books. So you'll be able to see what orders are currently placed within the order book and at what price. In this side, on the buy side, currently about 5 million rands worth of liquidity within 8 price levels. Over here, you'll be able to see your order history. You'll be able to see your open orders and your balances for all your assets. And then on this side is where the actual trades occur. So let's maybe do I have balance here? For now, let me just show you guys a market order. In this case, I want to buy some USDT. So let's say I'll do a $2 buy of USDT and place a buy order. And there you will see that my order has been successfully placed. So a lot to go through here. I'm not going to go through much more of it, but it's a full-on pro trading exchange. This is also the case on perpetual futures. It's small advanced product. Would switch to a sub-account to be able to use this product, but that allows you up to 60x leverage on the perpetual futures side of things. On the spot side of things, we offer up to you'll see next to these pair names, you'll see the numbers 5x. That means you get up to 5x leverage on the spot order books. That means you can actually trade with more money than you have in your account and your account health in such a way that you will effectively go through a liquidation proceeding if the market moves against you and your account health drops below a certain level. So that is the pro trading exchange. I think then it might be prudent to jump into our own products. Our own products are to earn yield on crypto balances, similar to what you have in a bank account, except the crypto mechanisms to earn interest are somewhat different because this happens in the in the crypto space. Here we have our staking products. We currently support 3. There will soon be some more. You can earn yields on AVAX, Solana, and on-chain yield. So there's no borrowing or lending happening on this. This is pure on-chain yield that's being provided to you in exchange for actually maintaining the integrity of these blockchain networks. We then also have a lending product, which is a pure lending product, meaning that the margin or the margin trading, leverage trading that facilitated on VALR is facilitated through people lending their balances, their idle balances into our margin book, including VALR doing this themselves with our own balance sheet. And what happens is you would specify, let's say for instance, Bitcoin, I would specify the amount that I would want to, if I had a balance here, I would specify the amount of Bitcoin that I'd like to lend into the margin book and specify the yearly or the hourly rate that I'd like to achieve. And I can then elect to lend those funds into the margin book. And in exchange for lending those funds into the margin book, I will earn an hourly interest rate. At the moment, this is a dynamic rate, so it does change depending on the borrowing demand. But at the moment, you can see that the current rate is 14 yearly on ZAR, but it's paid out to me. My interest is paid out to me hourly. And at the moment, you'll see my funds have been lent out. They're in use. I can either edit the rate that I've asked for, or I can increase the amount that I'd like to lend, or I can unlock it. And typically, you'll see there's a countdown. Typically, this lending and unlocking happens every hour. Okay, so that's the lending product. You can do this with your other crypto assets. You can do it with dollar stable coins. There's maybe about 12 or 13 assets that you can do this on at the moment. Then you have DeFi lending. This is a managed version of DeFi lending that VALR has made available. Super simple to do. Instead of needing to understand centralized exchanges and all these kinds of things, we allow you to basically do this with almost, two, basically. Let's say I decide to lend out some USDC. This is lent out on-chain, and in exchange, I earn a decentralized yield on that balance. Additionally, not yet live. Actually, can I share this? I don't think I can show you guys this yet, but I can speak to it. And this is our tokenized real-world assets. So what this means is basically, let's say, for instance, there a money market fund or a real estate fund or investment options. Could even be something like your Allen Gray or your Momentums or your Investec funds or things like this can actually be tokenized on-chain, and VALR will then distribute those tokenized investments to allow for yield and exposure that will allow you to actually be able to on-ramp to investments using cryptocurrency. And this would mean that you would also have probably better liquidity and much lower minimums than you otherwise would be able to do. In terms of these investments, generally speaking, you need to start with a large minimum before you're able to do this. Sometimes you need to be an accredited investor, and typically you'd have to lock up your investment for a long period of time. It depends on the specific RWA or tokenized asset. But generally speaking, your minimums are lower, and your liquidity is much higher, meaning you can enter and exit these positions much easier. So those are the earned products, and then lastly, VALR Pay. This is a closed loop payments product, but essentially you can pay someone. Let's do a quick test. Let me just grab your email address. So, okay, 20 rand. So let's say. So I can assign their mobile number to their email address or to their pay ID if they're already a VALR customer. In this case, I'm going to pay to Garabo. I'll add a note. Or I could send it anonymously. And I click next. And Karabo will now have received an email with some funds. If he doesn't have a VALR account, he would create an account within 72 hours and he would get access to these funds. If he does, these funds would be immediately available within his VALR wallet, and he can spend them as he chooses. You can either withdraw the rands or we can buy it or whatever the case is. So that is the base product set on VALR's UI. Additionally, as I mentioned, VALR's everything you see here is also available via VALR's API. There's actually more things and more product-related things available on the API UI. I dropped a link in the chat. Karabo can share it with you all as well afterwards to our API documents, and this is public. Anyone with a VALR account can go ahead and create integrations into VALR. It looks quite intense, but I can guarantee you it's not. It's very well laid out for the developers that are here, and of course with account, then pretty much anyone could build an integration or build a trading bot or anything like this on VALR. So I think, Karabo, unless you have another idea of something that you'd like to cover before we go to questions. I see there's been some good questions in the chat, then we can move over to questions.
Yes. I think one of the first few I would like to cover is the times, the deposit time. How long does it take to deposit and also withdraw? How long does it take? Yeah.
So let me try and find you guys an article quickly, which I will also share. Of course, so here's a support article on. Of course, during the hours, the deposits and withdrawals happen quite swiftly. Depending on which bank you are with, it could take anywhere from a minute to 2 days. As we know, the banking system is not a smooth one. It's not always smooth, rather. But if you do an instant EFT, often we find that about a minute will be making this deposit. If there is nothing wrong on the banking side of things, normal EFTs will also clear, I would say, probably within an hour, assuming the transfer has been done throughout banking hours. We do clear. Where's the withdrawal one? We do clear withdrawals over a Saturday as well. On a Sunday, we don't process. Let me just try and see if I can find you guys the withdrawal times. Here we go. Withdrawal schedule. I'll share this with you as well. So we process withdrawals from Monday to Saturday between 8 o'clock and 6 o'clock, like pretty much everyone else does in the financial world. But again, we also offer a fast withdrawal option. Withdrawals, your first 30 withdrawals every month are free. Thereafter, they are $8.50. And there is a bit of an additional fee associated with fast withdrawals.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. How fast do you think they take withdrawals?
With a fast withdrawal, we see this happen, within a minute generally, depending on whether or not it's in banking hours. A normal withdrawal, they often clear on the same day, but again, it's kind of out of our hands. No longer than 2 days.
Okay.
It is out of our hands in terms of, if the banks are slow. That's just how it is, unfortunately. But with fast withdrawals, it could happen within a minute, actually. Particularly FNB and Capitec are quite fast.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I think that's it on my side. I think now we can sort of take questions and sort of jump in. Maybe I'll start with the one that I see that's on top. I think that's the first one.
I would have to unmute people. So I turned off the mics.
Wait.
No, I turned off the mics. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I'm saying it's fine. You'll do it. I'm reading from the comments.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I think the first question is crypto seen as a capital gain tax or income?
Yeah, so I'm not in a position to give anyone financial or tax advice. I think there is a lot of reading material that you guys can also do on this. But generally speaking, the advice from the regulators is that they would determine on a case-by-case basis whether or not it's clear that you are earning income on a monthly basis using crypto, or whether you you are a long-term holder of crypto assets seeking the capital gain, and they will determine it on that basis.
Okay. The next one is, what are your fees compared to the others? What makes you guys different from Luno?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing to note, and the first thing that makes us different from Luno or other exchanges is our asset selection, our product selection, and our liquidity. So it means that if there is not enough liquidity on an exchange, you will, perhaps I should actually just show you guys what I mean on the UI. Give me 1 second. And I'm not saying that there aren't pairs on VALR, that we try to keep all pairs on the very liquid, but some assets at times don't do volume for various different reasons. But in this case, here's a good example of the fact that, let's say, for instance, you wanted to buy, how much is this? $335 worth of Agri token. Or let's say you wanted to buy $1,000 worth of Agri token. Instead of, because there's a lot of liquidity, instead of paying the market price of $0.29 for an Agri token, you will go into the book and you'll see you'll end up at instead of paying $2,939, you would pay $2,981 as an average price on the specific token per token, and that is because there is not enough liquidity. So, for instance, if you perform a transaction on an exchange, and sorry, I'm showing the wrong screen here. Sorry, guys. This would make a lot more sense if I was on the screen. Right, let me start again. So here's the market price. Market price, 2939, 0.0232939. But there is only about $340 in the order book at this, near the top of the order book. So if you wanted to do a $500 order, as you're trying to fill this order, your price is gradually getting more expensive because there's not enough liquidity near the top of the book. Whereas, on our major pairs and most of the pairs on VALR, so for instance, let's check again on, let's say, USDT ZAR. On this book, you could quite comfortably do a buy of 2 million. You'll see it even jumps up to about 5 million rand. There we go, 8 million rand. Before you're actually overpaying.
Nice.
This is called slippage. So liquidity is a big thing. Then I think let's talk about fees as well. Various fees are significantly cheaper on most tiers. Here you guys will see in terms of crypto withdrawals, this depends on the network. We don't actually make money on withdrawals at all. 33 withdrawals per month. Instant clearing is 30 Rand per withdrawal for instant EFT out. And then if you compared fees here, you want to compare fees. You have tiered pricing structure, and you'll see depending on whether or not you're a taker or a maker, you'll pay either 0.35% or 0.18% at the worst fee tier. For those people doing over, you'll see it drops off quite drastically as well. For those people doing over $50,000 a month, it drops down to 0.25 and 0.10. This is on the spot fiat, so meaning the rand pairs. On the crypto to crypto, it's even cheaper. Your worst fee tier is 0.10% or 0.08% on your worst fee tier, dropping all the way down to, on the fiat side of things, these are negative fees. Fees actually meaning we would pay you for providing liquidity in that order. And on a stable to stable coin, you'll see very, very low soon dropping down to 0 fees on the maker side and all the way to 0 on the taker side as well. Perpetual futures, again, even cheaper, at worst 0.07% and 0.03%. So that's fees, and that's liquidity. I think it's important to know that FAIR is the largest source of liquidity in South Africa and in Africa. So you would, so to give you an idea, VALR does about 70 to 80% of the cryptocurrency exchange volumes on a daily basis. So probably about 2 or 3 times the volume that does on any given day. There are days in which their volumes are higher than ours, but generally speaking, ours are not large. Yeah, and then just product sets in terms of everything I've shown you guys now, in terms of the earning products, in terms of the number of assets that you're actually able to purchase, etc. All of the things that basically differentiate between exchanges.
Okay, I think maybe President Denzel, can you maybe tell me who's up for a question? I saw some hands there. The person can ask.
Okay. Let me just do this first. Then we can ask the person to unmute. Let's see who's at the top. Amahle, can you unmute and ask your question?
I just wanted to ask, how is blockchain different from banking ledgers?
It's not too short an answer for you on this, but I'll try and make it as short as possible. So a blockchain is a form of it. However, blockchain is a ledger that does not rely on any single one party to maintain its integrity. So a good example of where this could cause a problem is where the banks have a mistake in their database, or they have downtime, or they accidentally credit you with too much funds in your account or too little funds in your account. This is all databases are, have single points of failure, whereas blockchains do not. True blockchains never have downtime. They never, no single one person controls it. No single person can change an entry on the blockchain. It is a completely decentralized, public, permissionless database that allows for value to be moved from person to person without any intermediaries in between. So no one can stop you from performing a transaction on a blockchain, and no one can alter the records on a blockchain. I think it's a bit of a longer discussion, but I would highly recommend that you go and have a look at some material from someone like Andreas Anton to get a better understanding there. But yeah, thank you.
Okay, cool. Then let's go to the next one.
Zion. Can I unmute?
I think Zion.
Oh, sorry. Zion. Can you unmute and talk? Okay, let's go to the next one. Tlotla Sebatan.
I wanted to ask, is VALR available in all African countries, or is it supported in all African countries?
VALR is supported in most African countries. There are a number of countries that we unfortunately can't support. This is purely because of sanctions and things that we're prevented from doing. So in terms of African countries that we can't support at the moment, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan. Yeah, so it's only these 3 countries that we explicitly can't support. Of course, there are some countries I believe like Algeria, where crypto is, but the rest of the African countries are concerned.
Okay.
Prince.
I see one that says why VALR doesn't support withdrawal to Namibian banks.
Yeah, sure. That's a good question. So there's two sides to this question. The one side to the question is we have order books or fiat support for what is the currency in Namibia? Is it quite no? Is it kwacha?
No, it's NAD. It's NAD.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So we don't have order books or support for that currency as of yet. A lot of work goes into actually banking is needed for different currencies. It's also quite a small market just in terms of the number of people there. So hopefully we'll get there to be able to support it. But at the moment, we don't necessarily have banking there to be able to support it. I think there has recently also been I think we did support rand withdrawals to Namibia until a recent regulatory change that's prevented us from doing that.
Okay, cool. I think one last, I'll read from the comments before we go to guys to speak again.
Okay.
With the rise of stable coins and CBDCs, how do you see the future of crypto adoption in South Africa over the next 3 to 5 years? And what role will VALR play in that?
Yeah, good question.
That's a good question.
So in terms of CBDCs, I don't really see any value in CBDCs. I don't really see how having a CBDC on a permissioned blockchain makes any sense. I don't see how it's any different from our normal fiat currency. I mean, our normal currency, let's face it, in most places in the world, there are obviously exceptions. Where in economies where there is a lot of cash, but everywhere else, including in South Africa, most of our transactions happen digitally. Your bank account balance is a digital entry, so I don't think there's much use case for CBDCs. In terms of crypto adoption, I think this is happening at an extremely rapid rate, particularly now that we have a more mature market and institutional players actually adopting crypto into their portfolios. They're busy building out all kinds of different use cases using crypto, and much of this is powered by stablecoins. Because these things are more stable and less volatile, and you're able to price things in these currencies. But these stable coins run on blockchains, open permissionless public blockchains. So the use cases there are immense, and VALR powers a lot of these use cases. I've just sent a link in the chat as well to something called Frank. This is a savings products and things like this. They are actually offering people Bitcoin directly from within their normal traditional financial app. And a lot of this is happening in South Africa. In the next few months, you'll see announcements from some large remittance players, perhaps from some banking players and things like this that are actually building out technologies directly within their environments. I think this will continue to happen, and very soon you will have use cases being filled by crypto, except you won't even know that there's crypto on the back end of these transactions, which is where we're heading. These transactions will just be faster and cheaper and more easily secured because they run on a better technology.
Okay. Yeah, I see one last very important one actually, I think, and then from there I'll let the guys go through. This guy says, what happens to users' crypto if I think he's trying to say if VALR shuts down, considering you don't give private keys or have a DeFi wallet.
Yeah, it is a very important question. So VALR is a decentralized exchange, and as such, we are managing your funds, and we are the custodian of those funds. VALR itself, been around for 7.5 years. We've never lost a cent of customer funds. These funds are, VALR is a fully funded exchange, meaning we don't lend out any of your funds on the back end, like a bank would. We hold all of your funds as they accrue to you on a one-to-one basis. We don't do anything with those funds. They remain in the bank. You have legal claim over these funds, regardless of what happens to VALR.
Okay, no problem. I also have a question, and I think he's been raising his hand up for a while. So my question is, how do you withdraw to DeFi from VALR?
Yeah, sure. There's so it's the same process. It's the same process that would be followed for any crypto withdrawal. Let me just grab another crypto address here quickly so I can show you how this works in practice. Let's see. Just give me a brief.
Quick thing, I see the meeting is it's actually ended. Maybe can you extend a bit? I don't know if it's possible on your side.
Yeah, that's okay. I will do.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just grabbing an address quick. Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. So how this happens is exactly the same as any crypto withdrawal or standard. You effectively go to a crypto asset and you would say withdraw. And within this, and then from within here, you would then enter an address. This address meaning the destination address or account number that you would want to send crypto to. Enter it here, and then you would select the blockchain network that you want to make use of. In this case, I'll be sending USDC on the Avalanche chain, and I would then determine how much crypto I want to send. Why don't I have fun? Yeah. Okay, yeah, well, I'm not going to sort of try and get funds here now, but effectively you would then just choose how much you'd want to send, and you would review the withdrawal and approve it, and those funds would be sent to your DeFi wallet or your Cloud wallet or wherever you'd like to send them in the crypto ecosystem.
Okay, sounds looks smooth. So I have another question. Since VALR is a centralized exchange, so what happens if you guys get hacked? What will be the procedure for me, especially with clients' funds?
Sorry guys, my network seems to be a bit wonky. I just turned off my camera. Sorry, Karabo, can you just ask the last part of your question again?
Oh, I was asking, since VALR is a centralized exchange, what will happen if you get hacked, and how will you proceed when it comes to clients' funds?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, I guess we need to determine that there are policies and procedures in place for this, as well as an insurance, self-insured insurance fund that in case this ever happens. It depends on how it happens, right? But we would, of course, always make sure that we make our customers whole in some shape or form. However, we would do that. Most likely, it would come from our own funds or insurance funds or something like this. But of course, the first and most important part is to avoid which we've to do successfully for the last 7.5 years. VALR has a very robust security system and wallet mechanisms. We have hot, warm, and cold wallet systems with funds that are segregated, and of course we manage the risk exposure to make sure that we never have too much funds in wallets cash online. Whether these are cold wallets, air-gapped, meaning they're never exposed to the internet, and we also have then warmer wallets, which only allow withdrawals to one specific address, which is our other exchange wallets.
Okay, thank you so much. Can I have a question?
Oh, always. Thanks for the opportunity. First, I wanted to ask, you mentioned derived as in like derivatives. I'm not sure like if it's like the same as synthetics, and also you mentioned futures. So with VALR, would I be able to trade futures? Because that's the first question I wanted to ask. The other one is regarding lending. What are the risks that basically come with me lending within the lending part?
Yeah.
And what's the other one? So it's just the synthetics, futures, and the lending risk of lending. And so you also have your own card as time goes, like as in that physical card which I could use to purchase using VALR. And basically the other question was on your guys' mission, like why was VALR established in the first place? What is it that it's hoping to accomplish within the near future?
It's a lot of questions, but I'll try and move through it quickly. So VALR offers derivatives in the form of perpetual futures. Perpetual futures are a crypto concept. They are obviously non-expiring futures. These are tradable on VALR as well, and like I mentioned, they are inherently leveraged products. As you can see here, they go up to 60x leverage. So there is also futures trading, perpetual futures trading available on the exchange. You'll see that we generally have quite high funding rates as well. This is an hourly funding rate that's indicated here. So you can also farm the funding rates on VALR and do some pro trading here on the perpetual futures exchange on VALR. I would say the same, but maybe not enough time to get into the bare bones of perpetual futures. But yes, we do offer the derivatives. Okay, and then in terms of lending, just a qualification question here: are you referring to the DeFi lending, or are you referring to the pure lending product?
Let me say both. What would be the difference between the two?
Yeah, sure. So, DeFi lending is an on-chain lending product. Again, somewhat of a complex concept here, but there are various different. Our lending product is through Aave, and Aave is what powers it on the back end, and Aave has different different lenders and different purposes, and Aave lends funds out on chain in order to actually receive an interest rate on those funds lent out. Very little risk there. It's basically protocol risk that you're exposed there. And VALR, what you see on VALR is just a managed service. So we abstract away all the complexities that generally involve the decentralized lending space. So that's sort of pure DeFi crypto lending. And then on the pure P2P lending side, this is the lend product that you'll be able to see here. Of course, there's always risks involved when it comes to lending. The risk that goes to in this form of lending is essentially one, that VALR fails completely, in which case there are bigger issues, and which hasn't happened in 7.5 years. Basically, our liquidation engine would need to fail completely, because the people are all the users that have collateral on the platform, and VALR's liquidation engine and margin engine actually manages their positions, in the sense that if their account health or their account equity reaches dangerous levels, VALR will actually let the people know, firstly, that this is happening, and secondly, if it gets dangerously low, VALR's engine would then automatically start liquidating their positions to make sure that they can actually repay the loans. The one risk is that VALR fails completely. The other risk is, I wouldn't say it's a risk of not being repaid, but it's a liquidity risk, in the sense that you can unlend your funds every hour. However, times where there's very high buying demand, the market is moving, and there are traders looking to borrow a certain asset in order to short another, or in order to procure more of an asset than they could with the normal balance in their account. Perhaps there is not enough new funds coming into the loan book during that hourly period, or there are people that are choosing to hold on to their positions for a longer period of time. You may not be able to actually unlock funds that hour. You may need to wait until the next hour, or maybe 2 or 3 hours from there. But we're never talking days. We are talking perhaps an additional hour or two here or there. Those are the two risks involved in lending.
Okay, I don't know if I should take any more questions. If there's somebody that has a question.
Yeah, let's take Floyd's question there. And
Floyd, Taylor, you can on your mic. Okay, I don't think Floyd really.
Evening, everyone. I hope you can be. I had some questions in my hand.
I've been trying to get my mic on.
No
problem.
Sorry for disturbing that. How does VALR comply with South Africa's Financial Intelligence Center Act, and what impact does it have on user verification, large transactions, and crypto withdrawals?
Yeah, so VALR is a fully licensed exchange in South Africa. We have a Category 1 and a Category 2 CASP license, which is a financial services provider license, as a crypto asset services provider. We are also an accountable institution under the FIC. We also have a regulated credit provider license. We have various other licensing considerations. And of course, we comply with everything that we are told that we need to comply with. We're obviously audited and regulated by both the FSCA and the FIC. So all the directives that are that we're required to comply with, we do.
All right, cool. I think we can read some of the questions as well on the chat. There's so many. We'll just pick randomly the questions that we can read.
So I see two similar questions here by Asanda and Sandile about tokenized stocks and RWAs. So yes, VALR is working on this currently. We have, as of last week, launched a private credit strategy that has been tokenized. It's a North American private credit strategy that offers a dollar yield, targeting between about 8 and 11% annually. This is not yet live for our general users. We're still busy building out the interface, but within about the next week or two, you guys should start to see some announcements surrounding this product. This would be our first product there, but there are at least 4 or 5 other products that we're working on currently from an RWA perspective. In terms of tokenized stocks, this is also something that we're quite interested in. We're working on this as well. The biggest hurdle to getting these kinds of products for crypto is actually the regulatory lift that's required in order to actually have these products listed on the exchange.
Awesome. I think one of the interesting questions I can read from here is, how can startups in the community of Africa's Blockchain Club or trading community can partner with VALR?
Absolutely. Maybe I missed it. Was there a specific question there that I might have missed?
No, it says how can startups in the community, if there are startups in the community like ABC or trading community, how can they partner with VALR?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of there's two main ways. One is to actually build out your own products on VALR, in the sense that you could actually use you could integrate with the API and build something similar to what Frank has built in terms of a mobile wallet that allows for crypto purchases or voucher purchases, or create your own use cases. And VALR's API and VALR's custody and our liquidity can help power pretty much any use case you can think of. So that would be the one way, is to actually build stuff on top of VALR's infrastructure. And then the sort of an easier way to do this is this affiliates program or referral program that we've put here. That allows you to refer your friends. Any VALR account has a referral link inherent to it here once you've created an account. And should people then sign up with that referral link and actually verify, you'll see there's a tiered referral model here. The people that you are referring would gain rebates on their fees up to a cap. But you would also then earn a percentage commission on all the trading that happens from within that account for the lifespan of that account. So you'll see you can earn up to 30% of net revenue on the trading commissions for those people that are trading using the account that you referred. Those are the 2 minutes.
Awesome. That's great. Let me read another one from Nkanyezi Twala. How do you think exchanges can earn and keep trust in post-FTX world? Is proof of reserve and decentralization enough, or will regulation be the deciding factor?
It's an excellent question. The short answer to that is it's very difficult. FTX was a large large sort of stain and very publicized disaster in the industry. I think for the most part we've moved beyond that. I mean, there are also many disasters like this as examples within the traditional financial world as well. Like in South Africa, a very famous one would be Steinhoff. America, a very famous one would be Bernie Madoff's pyramid scheme or Ponzi scheme. So these things are never 100% avoidable. But the crypto industry as a whole is working very hard to legitimize things and to make sure that we are good corporate actors. A good example of this would be Bybit, that was recently hacked for around, I think it was $1.5 billion. And I think Bybit is the world's second largest exchange. And within, I think, 2 days, they had repaid all customers that had lost funds in that hack. But when it comes down to it, you basically the thing that you can rely on is a track record over time. Bitcoin itself has only been around for about 15 or 16 years, and VALR has been around for 7.5 of those years, and we've never lost a cent of customer funds. So track record, licensing, of course, helps, and basically just the economics of running a good business, wanting to serve customers in a very thoughtful, very very safe way. In terms of proof of reserves, I don't personally think that this is the answer to things, because you are basically trusting that whoever is doing the audit to provide the proof of reserves attestation is doing their job correctly. So instead of just trusting the exchange, you're trusting an audit firm, and there are ways to quote unquote fake proof of reserves as well. I mean, I could make sure that I've moved assets into specific wallets to pass proof of reserves tests and move them out once the proof of reserves have actually been done. So I don't think that proof of reserves is the silver bullet here, but it is a good sign if a company is willing to go through.
Yeah, definitely. I hear that with faking the proof of reserve as well. I think I have also interesting questions from Neo Chuane. I'm sorry for butchering your last name. Are there any VALR initiatives focused on educating communities about blockchain? Will VALR be integrating more DeFi or staking features in the future? The other one is, how does VALR ensure the security of users' funds? I think you already covered the first one. So 2 questions is, are there any VALR initiatives focused on educating communities about blockchain? Will VALR be integrating more DeFi or staking features in the future?
Yeah, sure. So in terms of educational initiatives, we try to do what we can. We do conferences, we do podcasts, we do webinars, we do tutorial videos. We have a very comprehensive blog and customer support portal where we try to educate our users. It is a difficult thing to ship you. It's something that everyone in the crypto space can be better at. But there is, when it comes down to it, there is also only so much time and so much resources to do anything. So of course we can always do better, but we do what we can, including things like this that we're busy with now to try and educate the community. But the crypto is such a vast field that we should take it upon themselves to also try and to educate themselves as best possible on the technology. DeFi and staking, yes, absolutely. We are working on this. Again, there's a finite amount of resources that are available to us to build out additional products. But of course, as we go along, we will add more currencies and more different as we go along.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing that. I had a question from Umpile Molebati. Was asking what your opinion on stable coins during the ZAR volatility. Or what's your opinions on stable coins like USDT during ZAR volatility?
Well, it could be quite a broad topic, this, but I mean, as I mentioned, stablecoins are a phenomenal innovation in that they allow for people to participate in the crypto ecosystems in a currency whose price they understand. It's very difficult to something Bitcoin, for example, because there's a million decimals, and even though Bitcoin is one of the more stable, larger cap assets, there are days in which Bitcoin is more volatile than a lot more volatile than hard fiat currency itself. So stablecoins are an incredible innovation, and they also provide a means for you to understand pricing while you're trading. And of course, a dollar stable coin tracks the value of the dollar, and seeing as there's a lot of liquidity between rand and dollar pairs, particularly on the FX side, there's quite a lot of opportunity if that's your trading trade.
Oh, nice. Speaking of liquidity, there's a question from Wiz or Lil Wiz. How does VALR source its liquidity for large trades, and how deep is its order books compared to global players?
Compared to what, sorry?
Compared to global players.
Yes, okay. So VALR doesn't stream liquidity from elsewhere. The liquidity that you see on VALR's order books is all organic liquidity. VALR is a marketplace that brings buyers and sellers of crypto assets together, and we've managed to attract and create organic liquidity on the VALR platform. We might source liquidity for larger OTC deals. We also have an OTC desk, an over-the-counter trading desk, where we do larger block trades of several $1 million at a time. We can handle several $1 million at a time on our OTC desk using our own liquidity. But if we start talking about $50 or $100 million, then we need to actually get additional liquidity from some of our market-making partners. In terms of how VALR compares to global exchanges, again, I think I showed one of our order books earlier, which was outside of banking hours, and yet there's still 8 or 10 million rand worth of liquidity near the top of the book. Very little slippage. Of course, it's not like the largest Asian exchanges like a Binance or a Bybit, where there's several $1 million or in fact I think $1 billion on the order book. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't have $1 million trades to fill at the moment. But of course we are working towards. We are always actively working towards adding more liquidity to the exchange.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
I think let's read another one, then we'll take 2 more, maybe live questions. I saw someone asking, Floyd asked, so the VALR's already got tokenized money market access. That's fire. Just wondering how easy it is for someone new to crypto to actually use it and earn, or is it still more for advanced crowd?
Yeah, it's a good question. So just as a correction, we don't We don't yet have tokenized money market funds per se as an asset class. We will soon, but we do have a tokenized private credit strategy that will go live in the next week or two on our OTC desk. It will be a very understandable product. It's not complicated. It's similar to buying any other asset on VALR. Similar to what I've shown in the demo earlier. We are busy building up the user interface for that to happen. And once that's live, it will be a pretty seamless experience. Up until the point at which the user interface is live, it happens via the OTC desk. So it would need to be a bit of a larger trade in order to qualify for that initially, until we build out the interface, at which point there would be very low minimums for everyone to be able to participate.
Awesome. Maybe let's take one question. Neo, you can unmute and ask a question. Neo Mapakela.
And also, I want to ask a question too. Maybe I can ask it after Neo.
Awesome. Neo? Okay, Neo is not here.
If
Pluto,
Neo,
go.
I can get now.
It looks like.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I wanna know your perspective on blockchain, and do you think all industries would adapt to blockchain? And if yes, they will adapt, then how are you guys planning on adapting to, since you guys are centralized?
I think blockchain technology is not well suited for every industry, but one industry, which by extension means all industries, that it is very well suited for, it is any financial use case. So any business and every business that has some kind of a financial aspect could benefit from using open, permissionless, borderless payment systems and programmable money payment systems at that. So I do think that there will be that blockchain and crypto technology will permeate almost all industries, just at least within the financial side of thing, in time to come. And I can't tell you exactly what that future looks like, but I think at this point VALR is well positioned as a financial infrastructure to continue building out additional use cases and being a source of liquidity and tech provider within that future that I think will be making use of crypto.
Okay, well understood. So is there anybody that wants to take it?
Yeah, so I think we have time for one more question, guys, and then I need to get back to it.
Already.
Happy to take one more question, or we can read one from
the Tola, can you unmute and ask your question? Kanyezi? Okay, going once, twice.
I think we saw some good questions come through from Floyd in the chat. Floyd, Bele, I don't know if you wanted to maybe answer a question.
Sure. You can maybe pick one, Hank, from the comments that you would like to address before you go.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I think I will. Okay, there's three questions that I think I can answer sort of in one here. From Gepelo, outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, is VALR exploring support for other blockchain networks like Solana? Yes, absolutely. VALR supports, I'm not sure how many now, but it would be probably in excess of about 10 networks, including Solana. There's support from VALR, and we actively add new ones every month or so. So definitely catering to multiple blockchains. Then there are questions from Lengwati and Sandile surrounding the API access and bots. So VALR's APIs are public. If you have a VALR account, you are able to set up API keys from within your VALR account, and you could create an integration into VALR to build bots, to build out different financial infrastructure, however you'd like to. So no, you don't need a VALR account to access the API docs. You can view them freely. They're openly available on the net, and you can have at it and hang around with the API and create bots. There are some other providers that have already built bots on VALR that you can also use. All of these things are available to you.
Okay. I think that'll do with the questions. Because also I hosted a competition for the meeting to the most engaged 10 people. Oh, actually it was 5. So I'm giving away the codes to these following individuals, then we'll just end the call. Thank you for joining, Mr. Hank. Hopefully the people learned something new. Hopefully they see a way forward for crypto. So I'm gonna give it to a few people here. I'm gonna give it to Floyd Bailey. Just take a screenshot of your Google account and just send it to me on WhatsApp. And I'm gonna give it to Nganyezi. Let me check. Kile, I think there's about 3 days, so 2 more to go. Then you guys must just text me with your Google accounts, and I'll give you guys the codes. Let me see. Oh, and also Liwa Mo. Please text me. That's the 4th one. So I'm just looking for the last one. Let me see. It's quite a few here. I see the same people here. So let me just give it to a random person now. Let me just give it to a random person. Amatle Sekano. Please text me on WhatsApp. Congratulations to the 5 people. Thank you guys for joining. Remember, every Wednesday we host meetings like this about crypto, DeFi. We'll be inviting a couple of people. Hopefully you guys get a sense of understanding on what we're doing here. Okay.
All right. Cool, guys. Thank you very much for hosting me, and I really hope I could add some value. Looking forward to seeing you guys trading on the order books on VALR.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through, Hank. We're also looking forward to seeing you more. Maybe having more sessions like this or in-person ones. And yeah, I think that's that from us and our community. I don't know, as Carol maybe can do the closing.
I mean, it's all good. I think thanks to Hank, thanks to Pluto, thanks to Denzel, thanks to everyone. Yeah, man, we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday. Cheers. Goodbye on my side.
All right. Thank you. Thank you guys for pulling through. We really appreciate you all.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Bye.